Hello, welcome to Camp Sequassen.
I really love the community that Sequassen has and how excited everyone is to be united by scouting.
We have so many great programs. We have great staff. Everything about this camp is really to love about it.
You should consider coming to Sequassen because I believe that you have a very fun time here. We have lots of programs and activities and a very effective merit badge program.
You go out to the park field and you see everybody running around playing frisbee or gaga ball. And you go up to the trades building and you see people using the facilities. You go to the waterfront and you see everyone jumping on the trampoline and swimming and boating.
My favorite memory of camp is probably winning Super Trip in my trip a couple summers ago.
My favorite dining hall song is probably the Anfield Marching. I really like the Silver Things.
Scouts and troops should absolutely consider coming to camp. There's no other place like it until you experience it.
Are you ready?
See you next summer. See you this summer.
See you in the summer.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 Camp Sequassen Summer Camp Resident Kickoff presentation. My name is Miggs and I'm happy to serve as the camp director again this summer. And I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight to share all the great things that are going to be happening at camp this summer. Tonight we have some special presentations from a few guests, such as Mike Gavlik, who is returning as our program director. Our resident camp nurse, Nurse Dave, will be here to talk about the medical process. And we'll also hear a few words from our Assistant Scout Executive for the Connecticut Yankee Council, Joe Andreo, to talk about some camperships. So this summer, we're excited to see all of our scouts and scouters from the past come back for another great summer. And we're excited to welcome all of our new units attending this summer. Spots are filling up fast, so make sure you reserve your spot today. Our calendar dates, we are starting week 1 on June 30th through July 6th, and we are running 6 full weeks of resident camp all the way through August 17th, 2024. So we are super excited to have a jam-packed full summer, and we're excited to have all of you out there join us. A couple key staff members that will be returning. We'll have Ranger Dave back as our camp ranger, Lori Boyajian as our trading post manager. We have Dave Applegate coming back as our aquatics director. We also have, am I blanking? Luke is going to be cooking our kitchen. There it is. Can't forget about Luke cooking all of those absolute fantastic meals. Bobby Gavlik, our ecology director, ASJ, our handicrafts director, Brian Niebank, and Nick Gruner up in the challenge area. And that's only a few of the great staff members we're going to have back. And we'll be joined by a lot of great new staff members that will be joining us for the very first time this summer. So to kick us off, we believe that every scout deserves the opportunity to go to summer camp. And finances should never get in the way of someone attending camp. So to talk to us about Camperships, I'd like to introduce and welcome our very first guest tonight, our Assistant Scout Executive for the Connecticut Yankee Council, Joe Andreo. Joe, come on up.
Thank you, Miggs. So as Miggs mentioned, we really want to make sure every scout can go to camp, and we provide those funds through the council. There's a form to fill out that you can find out on the website, and it will be provided also in the packets that are sent out. And thank you for choosing Camp Sequassen. Camp Sequassen is a phenomenal place. We have actually made many improvements this year, and you'll see those when you get up there. There's all kinds of things coming up. So if you have any questions more about that, you can call the office, speak to me directly, or speak with Karen Coyote. She's our camp registrar. So thank you.
All right, and before you go, Joe, just a couple of questions I'd like to ask you before you step off. Can you tell everybody what's your favorite part of Sequassen?
Just being at camp. Camp is a phenomenal place. It's really one of my favorite places in Connecticut.
And what's your favorite merit badge that we offer at camp?
The Life-Saving Merit Badge, because I spent a week as a kid at the waterfront at 10 Mile River that I really enjoyed. So great. I would imagine our scouts enjoy it as well.
And what about your favorite camp meal?
Oh, that's interesting. I like a bunch of them, but Taco Tuesday is definitely my favorite.
And what about your favorite slushy flavor? Because we know scouts and scouters alike love going to the trading post to get a slushie to help cool them off on a hot summer day.
Although they're all great, I like the blue raspberry myself.
All right. I know you're a very busy person, so I have one more question before you go. Can you tell everybody, what does Sequassen mean to you?
I think satisfaction. The satisfaction that our scouts are excelling at camp and enjoying camp to the fullest. So, it's definitely in a great experience for the kids that go there. So,
All right,
thank you.
great. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Joe.
everyone.
Next up on our agenda, a day in the life of camp. So when you come to Camp Sequassen, what does a typical day look like? We wake up reveille at 7 a.m. We all meet together on Clark Field for morning flags at 7:45, followed by a delicious breakfast served in our dining hall by our Chef Luke and Chef Eva, who do a phenomenal job with a great team to provide high-quality, nutritious meals for all of our scouts and scouters and guests who attend camp during the summer. Then we kick off the morning with our first merit badge time slot at 9 o'clock, another one at 10, and then one at 11. Then we break and join again at the dining hall for lunch at 12:30. After lunch, we have a little break, and then we hop back into merit badges for our fourth merit badge time slot at 2 o'clock. Following that merit badge time slot, we have open program from 3 to 5, and again from 7 to 8 at night, where scouts will have the opportunity to compete and challenge themselves in a variety of awesome programs. Those programs that Mike Gavlik will update us on very soon. And then at 6, we'll join. Well, it's 5:45. We'll have flags, and then all join for dinner at 6 o'clock. Taps at 10, and every day is jam-packed with a ton of excitement that I know all the scouts and scouters will enjoy. A couple other things that I'd like to talk about while I have the podium. Online registration is open. So when you go on to sequassen.org, your units that have done their deposits are already able to do so. Units that have not done so yet, if you click on the register link on our website that you can see right now, for troop registrations, you'll be able to put your units, scouts in, pay your $75 non-refundable deposit, and then get them access to sign up for the merit badges they'd love to take. So it's important that you get your scouts signed up as soon as possible, because some of our merit badge classes will fill up quickly. So we want to make sure if you want your scouts in those badge classes, get them registered and signed up early. Also, if you are a provisional scout and want to come to camp on your own or with a buddy and join our provisional unit or come as a scout with another unit, you can also do that as well. So a couple of important deadlines to keep in mind as we go through the last part of this winter season into spring and summer. Again, our youth rosters from your units must be in by March 15th on our website. And then the early bird registration to pay that early bird fee must be paid in full by April 1st, 2024. When you go in and register online, you'll be able to pay the deposit online using a credit card. However, we would like you to pay the rest of that balance with a check. So please make sure you, if any questions about that process, you're going to see or talk with Karen Coyote, who does a fantastic job as our camp registrar, and she'll be able to answer all of your questions. And we also like to make sure that your registration fees are all paid and due 4 weeks prior to your week of camp before it begins. So once you arrive, it is a smooth onboarding process to start your week at camp. And then a brief update on our check-in process. So units will begin arriving on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Orientation will start shortly after. And then we'll have dinner together that night, followed by a great opening campfire put on by the amazing camp staff. And then all adult leaders, make sure that you check in. And a lot of this information will be sent out via email from our office as we get closer and closer to the summer camp months. As I mentioned earlier, we do have that important early bird deadline, so make sure you collect payments from your units by April 1st so you can take advantage of that early bird opportunity. We have a lot of other opportunities at camp that we love scouts to take advantage of. One thing is becoming our CIT program. So if any scouts that are interested in joining our camp staff want to get a little taste of what that's like, they can join our CIT program. It's a multi-week internship program where they come to week 1 of camp, so June 3rd through July 6th, and they work with their CITs to learn more about the camp, participate in the program, and also do some learning seminars to prepare them for their internship week. Then those CITs will have an opportunity to come back for a second or third week, and they'll work hands-on in a program area of their choosing to really get a feel of what it's like to be on camp staff. And then after scouts complete the program, they will be given preference if they'd like to return and be on our camp staff for the following summer. We have a great program, provides a great insight, and it helps train our future scouts and our future leaders for Sequassen today. So if that's interested, please scan the QR code. That will bring you to the link on the website to sign up. And also, if you go to sequassen.org, it's there as well. And last thing I want to mention before we transition to Mike Gavlik, our program director, is we do have a lot of specialty programs offered up at camp. We have our Eagle Week program, our cooking program, our scuba program, all those exciting things Mike will be able to come up and tell us all about. So with that, oh, and our last program, we forgot to mention, our Discover Adventure. Our Discover Adventure program is for scouts 14 years and older. They get the opportunity to participate in the really high adventure programs that we have to offer at camp. And that includes our shotgun, our zip lining, our cowboy action shooting, and they also get to go down the Farmington River on an awesome tubing trip on Wednesday afternoon. And next up, we're going to see a little bit of clips about what that Discover Adventure program is all about. Welcome back, everyone. Here I'm joined with our camp program director, Mike Gavlik. Mike, it's great to see you.
It's nice to see you.
So Mike's going to talk to us about all the awesome programs that we're going to offer, some new changes, and some exciting merit badge additions to camp this summer. Mike, thank you.
Thank you, Miggs. And again, I am so excited to be back at Camp Sequassen this year. So as Miggs already talked about, we have our Discover Adventure program. That's our older scout program where they'll get the opportunity to participate in the high cope elements, which is our high ropes course and zip line. They'll have the opportunity to have a waterfront lunch down at our gorgeous waterfront just for themselves, as well as tubing down the Farmington River. Additionally, they'll get exclusive access to cowboy action shooting for an afternoon, using RC cars, mountain boarding, and the BMX course, as well as the shotgun shooting and climbing tower. An absolutely amazing program for any scouts looking to do that high adventure element at summer camp. Up next, for our younger scouts, we also have our Wilderness Patrol program. Excuse me, the STEM and Trades program. So the Wilderness Patrol program is our program geared towards younger scouts. At that area, we have our Trailblazers program, Expedition Wilderness, and Journey to Adventure. Our Trailblazers program is geared towards scouts doing the introductory scouting skills for just an hour each morning with our staff trained specially in working with younger scouts. Expedition Wilderness is something focused on the first aid requirements for tenderfoot through first class, as well as hiking safety, the in-water swimming requirements, and weather identification, and so much more. And then, of course, Journey to Adventure focuses on the knots and tying, lashing requirements, the tenting overnights, leave no trace, camping, backpacking, and fire building, just to name a few of the requirements that those scouts are going to work on. Also up north at Camp Sequassen, we have the STEM and Trades facility. Up at STEM and Trades, scouts will have the opportunity to work on welding, automotive maintenance, wood carving, as well as things such as robotics and coding. A little bit further down the hill from there, we have our shooting sports area. Up at shooting sports, scouts will have the opportunity to do archery shooting, rifle shooting, shotgun shooting, as well as we have our archery trap machine to use as well. Up there, the scouts can take either rifle merit badge, shotgun merit badge, or archery merit badge, or they can head up there in their free time to do archery and rifle and find out which one they like the most and try and aim for that bullseye. From there, we also have our Scoutcraft area. What's new up at Scoutcraft is this year we are offering the Paul Bunyan Award. The Paul Bunyan Award, scouts will demonstrate proper use of wood tools and use them to accomplish several beneficial, conservation-oriented projects, earning an award that most scouts haven't had the opportunity to earn outside of camp. Additionally, we have orienteering, pioneering, wilderness survival, and backpacking, as well as our Eagle required merit badges up there, camping and emergency preparedness. Scouts can head up to Scoutcraft during their free time and get a chance to do axe and knife throwing, work on their basic scouting skills, or try their best at their fire building competition. From there, over at Handicrafts, we of course have our big three: metalworking, wood carving, and leatherwork, where scouts will get the opportunity to make one of their most favorite badges or favorite things to bring home to show off what they did at camp. We're also introducing the Textiles Merit Badge this year, as well as we're bringing in graphic arts for these scouts to get the opportunity to participate in. Down at Aquatics, shortly down the hill from Handicrafts, scouts will have the opportunity to participate in rowing merit badge, canoeing, swimming, life-saving, or just use the open water during their open program time. Additionally, while at Aquatics, the scouts will have the opportunity to participate in the scuba program during the select weeks, as well as they can even sign up to get certified as lifeguards while they're down there if they're 15 or older. Over on Clark Field, our sports and wellness program gets the opportunity to add a handful of new badges. This year, I'm excited to say that we're offering public health, theater, and the golf merit badge. Additionally, we're introducing a Gaga tournament on Monday evenings for the scouts to participate in. And then down at Ecology, this year we're introducing the Fish and Wildlife Management Merit Badge, as well as introducing the new activity, Scout Sonar, where scouts will have the opportunity to try and reenact their own version of a submarine sonar to predict the layout of the ground. As far as the general program updates, this year we have some updates to the All Camp Challenge, where the scout units are challenged to head to each program area, participate in as many of the different programs that they can in each of them, to try and see which units can be the most active at camp, showing off that scouting spirit. I'm also excited to add that this year we're introducing the Honor Scout Award. The Honor Scout Award is an award given to scouts who do their best to be present in camp, attending Polar Bear Swim, participating in all camp challenge activities, serving as a waiter, participating in the Hermit Pilgrimage, All Faith Service, and the Hessian Hike, and living by the Scout Oath and Law every day. Scouts who earn the Honor Scout Award show themselves as a positive influence throughout camp the entire week. And that's a great way for us to be able to recognize those scouts for doing their best. And then, last but not least, as Miggs had mentioned, we have our Trail to Eagle program. This year, we have a tremendous amount of Eagle Merit Badges. Offered each week, we have camping, first aid, personal fitness, emergency preparedness, life-saving, environmental science, swimming, and cycling, with emergency preparedness and life-saving occurring at the same time, so that if scouts are unable to do life-saving, they can still earn that same Eagle required merit badge through emergency preparedness. During weeks 1 through 3 on our Trail to Eagle program, we're able to offer communication, personal management, and hiking merit badge. Additionally, on weeks 4 through 7, we have the ability to offer citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, and then for any scouts interested in trying to do the challenge of earning cooking merit badge, we are offering that during week 7. But spots on cooking merit badge fill up fast, so make sure that you register.
All right, thank you, Mike, for all those great, exciting program updates. We are really looking forward to having a great time with the program. But before you go, I have a couple questions I'd like to ask you. First, can you tell me what's your favorite part of your job at Camp Sequassen?
So my favorite part of being at camp is getting to just walk around, see all the merit badge activities, watching the scouts going around from area to area, and really enjoying the most they can of their summertime.
I see you mentioned merit badges. Great segue to my second question. What's your favorite camp merit badge?
Oh, it would be impossible for me to truly name my number one favorite, but rowing merit badge does have a special spot in my heart from all the great memories I have with it.
All right, excellent. Now, what about your favorite camp meal? Now, Chef Luke and Eva do a fantastic job with lots of great meals. I know it might be hard, but narrow down, what's your favorite camp meal?
You know, that's a tough one, Miggs, but I think my favorite meal, is the Thursday Thanksgiving dinner.
All right, excellent. And then, of course, a week of camp would not be complete without having at least one slushie from our awesome trading post, what would you advise scouts as your favorite slushy flavor that
Well,
they would recommend for them?
I'm not one to turn down any slushy, but my true favorite one really is the Yoda.
All right. Could you explain to us what the Yoda is for those that may not know what the Yoda slushy is all about?
So the Yoda slushy, from my understanding, part of the allure is the mystery, but it's definitely lemon lime and something else. But part of me enjoys the mystery of it.
All right, excellent. And last question for you. Can you tell everybody what does Sequassen mean to you?
Well, Miggs, to me, Sequassen means community, outdoors, having fun, and just really embracing the meaning of scouting.
All right. Well, thank you very much for all those great responses and for sharing our program updates this summer at camp.
Thank you, Miggs.
So with great program comes great facilities. Over the weekend, our media team had the opportunity to head up to everyone's favorite place, Camp Sequassen, and have a chat with the world-renowned best camp ranger in the BSA in all of the world, Dave Boyajian. So let's hear about all those new updates and additions we'll get to see up at camp this summer.
For anybody returning to Jerome and Zimmerman will not recognize it. As soon as summer camp was over, we had Wood Badge, and then once Wood Badge got out of here, we closed it for 3 months. And we tore down all the old lean-tos. We completely gutted the building, took down about 24 very mature pine trees, pulled the stumps, leveled the place out, new landscaping stairs, all new lean-tos, complete renovation to the cabin. It was a complete transformation down there. So that's very exciting. We've had our third weekend of rentals in there since we reopened it, and everyone has had nothing but praise about the whole new facility. It's been awesome. Anyone staying in Nathan Hale this summer will see a new campsite. We have to move it out of the way to make room for the new shower house. Actually just recently moved the shotgun range in preparation for the new bathroom facility in North Sequassen.
Here we are today. It's a Sunday at Camp Sequassen, in the middle of January. It's 5 degrees, 6 degrees outside. Today we're going to attempt to move the shotgun range.
Also in the spring, we plan on building two new pavilions for handicrafts, which would be a nice addition to handicrafts, spread out the activity if there's too many people in one spot.
What have you enjoyed most about Camp Sequassen?
Probably watching the scouts and the scouters and participants enjoying what we're doing here, you know, as far as work parties and all the volunteers coming together and a plan implemented. Basically, we finish a project, and then come summertime, you see everyone using it, which is actually probably the most gratifying part.
A few rapid-fire questions to finish this out.
You got it.
Favorite piece of machinery here?
My excavator.
Favorite merit badge?
Welding. Probably welding.
Favorite camp meal?
Roast beef. Definitely roast beef.
Favorite slushy flavor?
Blue raspberry with shocker.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan.
No problem.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed a little tour and a great visual of all the awesome things that have happened at camp this fall and what's coming this spring, and you'll get to experience firsthand when you're at camp this summer. Joining me now is our camp nurse, our veteran nurse of over 20 years of service to Camp Sequassen. He'll be here to talk to us about medical forms, the important components of them, so that you are well prepared to come to camp ready to have fun. So without further ado, Nurse Dave.
Have to say that I was really happy that Patuxi Phil said that spring is coming soon, but unfortunately summer camp is not coming fast enough because I'm ready to be at summer camp now. So fortunately, BSA has not done much with the health form. It's the same thing that's been in use for the past couple of years, so that's good news. So there shouldn't be any new slams that are going to cause problems for us. As always, we need to remember that the forms need to be here for anyone staying in camp for 23 hours or more, and that's both youth and adult. As well as that if you are coming back, let's say you're taking life-saving and you miss a class and you come back for that life-saving class, you will need to bring your physical with you because you're on camp and you're part of the program. So anytime you're part of the program. And the same thing for an adult if they just come up for a day and they want to be part of the waterfront and in the program, they will need a physical as well. We still have all the same forms as before. I believe you have first on your screen there the A form, which is basically the, hi, I'm healthy, I'm happy to be here, yes, I'm going to follow the rules. This is who I have as my parents. They are giving permission for me to be here, as well as the scout should sign this also. Now there is, like, the green line is actually the scout or the scouter, because adults have to sign this too, and then there is the parent to sign for the scout that they're also going to follow that. On the same form there at the bottom, another important fact, accidents happen, people get sick. Having permission for people to drive or pick up is important, especially in this day and age. So filling that part with who can pick up and, more importantly, who can't pick up, because we do want safety for all of our scouts and scouters. The next form is actually the B1, which is the general health history. This is filled out by you, the parent, the scouter, and the scout. You need to fill out, like, home address, insurance information, kind of that health history. And it needs to be a complete health history. Just knocking off a few boxes is not a complete health history. So please do it completely. The next form is the B2. And this one is about allergies, medications, and vaccines. It is an important part. Most of our scouts do not have additional medications that they need to fill out, so they really don't have to worry about that middle part. But if they have some other medication that they're taking, they have to have the prescriber sign off on it, and that's the medical provider, which can be a physician, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, but those are the ones that are making the medical orders. It can't be signed by a nurse or somebody else for that medical provider. It needs to be the medical provider. And Connecticut is also one of those states where you are giving permission as the parent or guardian of the scout for that medication to be administered. We do have another form which we will hit in a minute, which is the over-the-counter form. If there's medications on there that you want your scout to take, you would also put them there in this box as well. The next form is the Part C. That's the pre-participation physical. That's the, the passport that says, hey, you're cleared, you're healthy, welcome to camp, let's have a good time. That is completed by your medical provider as well. It's important that they fill out not only the left-hand side, which is the physical, but they need to fill out that right-hand side where it says examiner certification, because that's the thing that says, check, 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 yes, as completed. They are in good health. They can do X, Y, and Z. And then there's also a little blue box there that's important that, yes, we need to know who that medical provider is, what practice they're with, and how we can contact them in case of an emergency if we needed to. The form that I had referred to with B2 is the Connecticut Yankee Council over-the-counter medication form. And this is a medication form that was written up with our camp physician for the simple things. So, you know, if they got a cut, that we can use bacitracin. That if they have a headache, that we can use some acetaminophen. If they have some muscle pains, we can use some ibuprofen. So there's a whole list of common medications that we can respond to. If there is something on this list that you truly do not want your scout to get, you can draw through it, you can initial it, and that will mean the fact that no, you don't want that medication given, but you cannot put in something else, because again, this list was made up with our camp physician. That's what we have in stock, and that's what is expected that we would follow, so you can't substitute something else. That's where on B2, if it's something you want to substitute, you would put it into that B2 and your medical provider would sign off on it. There are two things that are involved in this particular form, and that's the emergency EpiPen auto-injector and the Benadryl. Because those are an anaphylactic treatment, those are like non-negotiable. If your scout was actually having an anaphylactic reaction, we're 27 minutes from the nearest medical facility. We need to react, and they will be administered just because it's high safety, and we want to make sure everything is safe and going well for your scout. Some of our scouts do have their own EpiPens. They may have their own asthma inhalers. They have insulin if they're a diabetic. These are considered emergency medications, and that's emergency medications that they need to carry. It's not daily medications that they would take in the morning because if they have ADHD. These are specifically for a specific diagnosis that they would use, and it's rescue inhalers, not inhalers that are maintenance inhalers. This form was developed because the state of Connecticut said that they needed to have some proof that, one, the scout was trained and knew how to administer them for themselves. This form is set up such that your provider can say is trained, can self-administer, or is not trained and but can carry. Because the fact is that if they're having a problem, and they're having a problem, for instance, with breathing, having them move from the dining hall to the health lodge isn't smart. It's better for me, the health officer, to go to them so that we can deal with their inhaler, and then their inhaler is on them. So this is also not just for them to administer to themselves, but for them to self-carry so that we can use it in an emergency situation if that needs to be done. Again, this is signed off by your medical provider, printed and all of that stuff. We do recognize, although Connecticut did pass into law recently, like in 2020, I believe was the year, about religious exemption for immunizations. They had basically said that as of that year, they were going to do away with the exemption for religion for those people that were using that so that they didn't have to do vaccines. So technically, as of 2021, anyone entering kindergarten had to have immunizations no matter what. We can grandfather in anyone who still recognizes and uses religious exemption for a reason they do not vaccinate. So you still would need to have this form completed for us to prove that you have this. Your school probably has this as well because you're running it through your school, but we don't keep old copies. I've been telling people a while ago that they really need to hold on to these forms and use them year to year. So please make sure that you get that filled out. The only exemption form is actually the contradictory for medical purposes, that if the medication in the immunization is not there. The last thing I want to highlight is the generic action plan. If for some reason there is a medical issue that needs to be addressed and taken care of, this is a generic one that would be filled out by you, the parent, and the medical provider so that we know what to do in the case of an emergency situation. This is on our website. You will find all of these forms on our website. Along with those, the general action plan, there is a seizure action plan, there is an allergy action plan that are already completely filled out that you can take to your provider, have them fill it out, and present it. And as always, any questions or anything, please shoot me an email or give me a call. I like to hear about the questions before getting to actually when we are getting into the week of camp.
All right. Thank you very much, Nurse Dave. But don't go anywhere yet. One thing that we are happy to announce that starting this summer, we will be able to take uploaded forms, health forms, they'll be able to digitally upload to our new system. And more information will be coming shortly on that. But I want to at least announce tonight that we will be able to digitally upload your med forms, so you don't have to worry about faxing them to us or mailing them to us. You'll be able to scan and upload to a brand new system. And more information and training opportunities for how to do that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. And before I let Nurse Dave go, I have a couple questions for you too. I bet you can guess what they are.
No.
All right, I'll tell you anyway. So the first question is, what is your favorite part about being the camp nurse?
I guess it's actually working with the scouts and keeping them healthy.
All right, excellent. Next, what is your favorite merit badge?
First aid.
Okay, what would be your second one? You couldn't do first aid.
Life-saving.
All right, excellent. And what about your favorite camp meal?
Got to be the roast beef on Sunday, but I will also say that it's a second but favorite piece, but it's a dessert. It's the chocolate frosted brownie.
All right, excellent. And what about your favorite slushy flavor from our fantastic trading post?
Well, I have two. There's always the cherry cola one, And then my ultimate top one is the double shot of flavor and shocker and the lemon lime.
All right. So shocker and lemon lime. That is a great choice. And the last question, and I'll let you go, is what does Camp Sequassen mean to you?
Well, seeing as I'm going into my 22nd year of being the health officer, and I'm not trying to build off of the hermit-like legend and stuff, but it is actually home. It's my summer home that I go to. I enjoy being there. I enjoy hanging out for the 7+ weeks of being at camp and hanging out with staff and having good times and good campfires and just enjoying the summer.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nurse Dave, for all the great information and for all your help this summer, keeping our scouts healthy and safe. And as we begin to wrap up our time with all of you tonight, I just want to share a couple of reminders, important deadlines. Remember, we want all of your youth that are going to camp uploaded into our system on March 15th. You can do that sooner, and once you pay their $75 non-refundable deposit, you'll have access to register them for their merit badge classes. And spaces fill up quickly, so you want to make sure you get that in as soon as possible. And the next big deadline is our early bird special. That price expires after April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke. It will expire afterward, so please make sure you get your full payment in by that date to take advantage of the early bird special. Also, in late spring, usually at around the end of March, early June, there will be a special pre-camp leaders meeting with Mike and I on Zoom. That'll give you more information and any other updates we have to share with you before we kick off our weeks of camp during this summer. So stay tuned for emails with more information about that. Also, if you'd like to have a camp staff member come to your unit, whether digital or virtually on Zoom or in person, to do a summer camp promotion, we would love to have you sign up and do that. If you go to sequassen.org, there'll be a link for you to sign up for a unit presentation. So if you have parents and new youth in your unit that are curious about camp and would like one of us to be there, please sign up. We would love to come visit your unit. We have a ton of staff members that are excited with a lot of energy and enthusiasm for our program that would love to share that with all of you. And as we come to a close, I'd also like to thank you, the viewers, our scouts, our scouters, for tuning in tonight and kicking off what's going to be an unbelievable and remarkable summer experience this summer. And as you see me on the screen, I want to thank Ranger Dave for taking the time to do his little clip to get him involved in this process. Nurse Dave, Mike Gavlik, Joe Andreo, all who are on camera providing vital information for all of you. But a lot of work goes behind the scenes to prepare for this event. So I'd like to thank Jason Van Leeuwen, his entire tech team, Alex, Chris, Mike, Cody, and I'm blanking on a ton of other people that helped out in this process. I truly apologize. Jeff, thank you. There it is. I knew I would remember it at some point. But they've done a fantastic job with all of our audio, our visual, our tech, our production crew. An absolute fantastic job. So I want to thank them for all their hard work getting this in place. And another shout out to Dylan Hogan, who helps and leads our media and marketing team to make sure our website is up to date. Kenny Wright, also a big, huge player in that. A. Schwab, fantastic job with a lot of our posters and a lot of our visual aids that have been placed on there. So a big thank you to all of those people to help not only make this night possible, but all the hard work behind the scenes. And I would be remiss if I forgot probably one of the most very important people to thank is Karen Coyote. She's our camp registrar and all things camp here at the Connecticut Yankee Council. She does a fantastic job of keeping up to date all information that is needed for the units, for registrations, making sure the website's registration's good, all those things. She answers all your questions, and it's just a pleasure to work with. So a big thank you to her. And since I asked all these other people what their favorite parts were, I'm going to give you my responses to the questions I asked our guest tonight. The first one was, what is your favorite part of Camp Sequassen, part of my job? As camp director, I enjoy seeing all the scouts and scouters having a great time with camp. It takes a lot of work to put a fantastic program, a staff together, and this job is 12 months. So when I get to camp, it's fantastic to see all of that work come to play and seeing all the scouts and scouters having a great time. I think my favorite merit badge, as a science background, I'd say environmental science. It was one of the very first ones I earned as a youth, and that probably jump-started me into my career as a science teacher. Favorite meal, there's so many. I'm going to have to go with Taco Tuesday. It's just absolutely fantastic and a great meal. And it comes with the Rocket Pop at the end for dessert, which is, again, a great dessert. Favorite slushy flavor, I'd go standard grape. It's a classic, and I really like it. And the last question, what does Sequassen mean to me? It's you. It's the scouts and the scouters and the staff. That is what Sequassen means to me. Seeing that you have a great time, you're enjoying the waterfront, you're enjoying our archery range, our high ropes course, our sports field, our Gaga pit. You are what makes Sequassen special. And that's what means so much to me as part of being on the Camp Sequassen summer camp staff. So I want to thank you for tuning in live and taking time tonight to learn all about the great new things happening at camp this summer. And before we wrap up, we're going to hear from some scouts about what Sequassen means to them. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.
To me, Sequassen is warm and friendly.
To me, Sequassen is an amazing place to be.
To me, Sequassen is a fun place to work.
To me, Sequassen is amazing.
To me, Sequassen is life.
To me, Sequassen is friendship.
To me, Sequassen is friendship.
To me, Sequassen is hanging out with friends at the waterfall.
To me, Sequassen is new experiences.
To me, Sequassen is home.
To me, Sequassen is home.
To me, Sequassen is memories.
To me, Sequassen is slushies.
To me, Sequassen is hanging out with friends and going to the waterfall.
To me,
To me,
to me,
to me,
to me,
To me,
to me, Sequassen is home.